$24 spent on health care pays for unnecessary tests and treatments that doctors order to keep from being sued. And 61% of businesses said that decisions to avoid lawsuits made their projects and services more expensive. Small businesses bore 81% of business tort liability, but only took in 22% of revenue. I could go on, but you get the picture. We believe that tort reform is being stalled in the Senate with the purpose of running up the clock this legislative session, thereby not allowing it to come up for a vote. We have seen these same tactics used in the past with roll call and other legislative issues that could upset the apple cart. In case of changing legislation relative to litigation, the trial lawyers have a huge financial stake in the outcome. Simply put, limits on liabilities are also limits on their fees. So lawyers and law firms are pouring money into certain political leaders to squash the future of tort reform. I'd like to thank Senator Thomas for his efforts in bringing it to the floor, helping to get it to special order. Now the fight can begin. We must bring it to a vote. Eliminating I don't understand how a few senators, among the many, can so effectively stall such important work. It happens time and time again when our senators, we always seem to hear the same response. I'm for tort reform and will vote for it if it comes up for a vote. To this, I say the taxpayers of South Carolina have spoken. The issue passed the House 100 to 7. Senators, if you are sincere about tort reform, show it and see that it comes to the floor for a vote. It can be done, even when such a vital piece of legislation, such as the budget, is being debated. You've made time for voter ID, you've made time for tort reform. Anything short of that, you're doing a disservice to your constituents. I'm speaking today will be Governor Haley, Don Rogers, representing the Greenville Tea Party, and Katrina Shealy, representing the business community. Thank you.
The number one thing that I hear from the legislature is, what can we say we've done about jobs in South Carolina? Well, what I can tell you is I'm on the phone every day recruiting companies. And what companies look for is the statistics on our business environment. This tort reform measure is huge. If the Senate is serious about creating jobs, if they really mean what they say, then they will make this the priority that we need so that we can bring more jobs into the state. We have one choice here. This will be a Haley legislative report card vote. And the way this vote needs to be looked at is if they vote for capping punitive damages and giving us real tort reform, they are voting for the businesses. If they don't, they are voting for trial lawyers. Businesses, trial lawyers. There is one option. We expect to vote upstairs. I know that we're going to make that happen. Senator Thomas, I appreciate your support and help with that. But this is a very clear message. They can say what they want, but the truth is in the action. They are either with the businesses and creating jobs in South Carolina, or they're with the trial lawyers and continue to endorse their commercials that are on TV. But we're going to be watching. It's going to be on the report card. I would ask each and every one of you, don't just talk to your senator. Talk to everybody around the state and tell them to talk to their senators. The House has passed and they did what they needed to. The Senate needs to bring it home. Thank you.
Is frivolous or reasonable, and whether it's won or lost, somebody always wins, and that somebody is a trial lawyer. Any effort to reform tort law is going to be opposed by those who benefit the most by leaving those laws as they are. Tell those legislators to get out of the back pockets of trial lawyers and law firms and pass tort reform legislation before this legislative session ends. In the end, the people left paying the bills for their full pockets are individuals and small businesses. They pay it by medical bills and they pay it in the insurance, by our insurance bills. But small businesses and individuals are the ones paying the bills. The money has to come from somewhere. The $35 million they spend every year on advertising for those commercials we all hate to watch has to come from somewhere. Tell them to put it to an end this year by passing tort reform. Call your senators, call every one of them. You don't have by passing tort reform. Call them today, call them tomorrow, call them every day. Thank you.
I'm Don Rogers. I'm the Green Tea Party. I want to thank everyone, the media, and all of those that came with some effort down here. And here we are again in this same house where we seem to come to on a regular basis. What is going on? What's wrong down here in Columbia anyway? Why does this have to be okay? We have to work untold amounts just to get roll call votes. If it hadn't been for our governor, we never would have gotten it done. We shouldn't have to work this hard on tort reform. It's really simple, Senators. If you want to reduce health care, vote for tort reform. If you want to gain more respect for the judiciary system, vote for tort reform. If you want to improve your image and your possibilities for re-election, you better vote for tort reform. You get it? People that are depending on the proper action down here, I think you may get disappointed unless there's a lot of support for it. This is true on a lot of big things that's happening right now in this building. These are very important times. But what we've got down here, you can go to that lobby up there right now, and it is going to be strewn with lobbyists, legislators, lawmakers. You can't swing a dead cat without hitting some lawyer up there in the lobby. We got too many lobbyists that are too many lawyers that are controlling our lives. We want tort reform. We want the governor to have the power that every governor in the rest of the nation has. What are we waiting on? We're going to be watching. Let me just suggest this. The governor talked about her scorecard. That is a wonderful thing. There is another scorecard, however, and it's South Carolina Club for Growth. If you have any opportunity to speak to your representatives, the first thing you need to ask them is, what's your score? What is your score? How did you vote in the previous years? If you voted for more government, more spending, less freedom, then we got a problem. Now, there's only one way we're going to change the way things are done in this building. We're going to have to have everybody understand that their job depends upon doing what the people want. And right now today, we want tort reform. Thank you very much.
I'd just like to end this with one more thing. There is only the most important report card is going to be coming from the voters in 2012. That's where the report card is going to be coming, and that's where the action is going to be taken. Does anybody have any questions? Thank you.